Welcome to the Music for Transformation interview series, where I get to interview amazing people who use music to enhance their own lives and that of other people as well. So first of all, just hit that subscribe button now and enjoy the interview. So welcome. Today with me I have the incredible Ben Leach, who is a friend of mine through networking, and here's his little bio that he's given me. He claims that he is an IT geek, I think that's correct, who has a strong passion for music. So he's a record collector who collects mostly soul and disco records and enjoys retro hi-fi equipment, and I can imagine that, Ben, because I know you like to work out how things work. So he finds music relaxing and a great way to relax after a hard day's work. And once again, I do know that you work hard. So welcome, Ben. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, James.
Good, brilliant. So I know obviously you specialize in IT repairs and you've got a lot of knowledge there, but tell me more about this music then. How have you used music and how has it sort of been part of your life?
Well, I grew up in quite a family who had been into music from the start. So basically, I grew up on Motown and Philadelphia soul music, and it's sort of the passion's built on from there. Really, I actually found going to live concerts and seeing some of these soul singers from the 70s and 60s, and sort of getting more passion for it, and the sort of range of music and the different tones and the different levels, like the Four Tops and the Temptations, different levels of sound, and you can appreciate it when you listen to the music.
Absolutely, yeah, and I love that style of music myself. I love 60s Motown. It's and 70s Motown, etc. It's one of those go-to genres or styles. If I'm feeling maybe a little bit low or something like that, you just put on some of those classic tunes, and they really lift your energy, don't they? And I know something I wanted to touch upon, and you said it's absolutely fine. You are someone that has suffered from autism. You have autism. And has music sort of helped you with that, helped to sort of control and manage that in some way?
Yeah, it has done, James. I mean, it all depends on the tone of music. I mean, a song what really gets me down is Eric Carmen, All By Myself. I can't listen to that if I'm on my own. That song will totally destroy me. But songs like Living for the City, Superstition, songs with a lot of upbeat in them, like I Can't Help Myself by the Four Tops. Something that's got a bit of like drive in it and a bit of like positive sounds to it. It makes me more relaxed, more focused, and gives me more sort of need to move on and do more things.
Brilliant. That's amazing. And I think I can imagine lots of people can relate to the All By Myself, where
it's a great record, but not a good record to listen to on your own.
No. It's very true, and there's a famous scene from Bridget Jones' film, isn't there, where she's listening to that. So yeah, absolutely, and that just sort of shows you the strength of lyrics. So, I mean, for that song, like you say, great song, great melody, but I'm guessing it's the sort of lyrics, maybe, the actual melody as well, but the lyrics, I'm guessing, are the ones that obviously affected you. Do you find that you are influenced by both lyrics and melody, or is it sort of more one than the other, or?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, really. I mean, if the song's got like a sort of dull tone to it, and it can make you feel more anxiety, more depression. But if the song's got more of an upbeat tone to it, then it pushes you and makes you feel a bit more less anxiety and less depressed. So I think that is definitely how they make the songs sort of come across, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's music is one of those things where it can instantly change your state, can't you? If you're feeling a little bit down, you put the right music on, it can lift you up. But the opposite is quite relevant as well. I know someone who, when she's feeling down and depressed, she listens to that type of music. So whether it's the music bringing her down or she craves that type of music when she is feeling down, but there's certainly a relationship there. Tell me more, because I know a certain degree about autism, but just explain to me how, you know, an autistic person's mind is a little bit different to someone who doesn't have autism, and because I want to then sort of relate it back to the music if possible.
Yeah, we're more of a thinker. We actually think a lot more, and we actually take criticism not very well, and we have to sort of have positive sort of tones put in. If anything's not positive or anything moves out of sync, like if you're doing a task and something changes, then that sort of changes the positivity of the person who's got the autism. So you have to, if nothing's instructed and things are moving the right way, then the positiveness stays in track. So it's like a record. If it goes off, with autism, the same as a record. If it goes off track and goes down a different track, then it could change the mindset of the person who's got it.
That's a nice analogy. Yeah, I like that actually. That is a good way of thinking. I'll have to remember that as that's a nice music analogy there. So obviously, you could potentially find that you could sort of get drawn off track quite easy. You could start to feel down, and music, like you say, you know, within your introduction, you find music a way to just sort of relax that mind. So if you're starting to feel a bit anxious, music helps just to sort of control that a bit.
And I listen to a great radio station I would recommend to anybody, called My Soul. It is a London-based radio station, but you can get it on digital and online. And they play a lot of modern soul music, what we don't actually hear in this country. It's mostly American soul music, but it's good to see what's going on in America. And they're still pressing hard with the soul music. And there's a couple of new soul singers coming in this country, like Emily Sandé and that, were really sort of pressing the soul music back up in the charts. So it's good.
Brilliant. It's lovely. You know, obviously today we've got the technology where we can find these outlets, can't we? You know, it's going to be there somewhere on the internet, you know, the music that's right for us. And I think, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling that if you've got something you're interested in, you very much want to find out about it as well, don't you? So I'm guessing you sort of want to know about, are you sort of someone that wants to know about the bands and and
their history and all that?
Yeah.
Like, I know the full bio of Marvin Gaye, like his tragedy and his father thought he was going down the wrong path with his drug addiction. It's sort of interesting to find out more about the singer, because Marvin Gaye was his career was sort of going on a different path to the way it was in the 70s, and his drug addiction started getting worse and worse, and you could tell that by his lyrics changing over the years. He was getting more. His lyrics were changing. His music style was changing the way it was in the 70s to the way it was in the 80s. So, because it's quite a tragedy, because he could have picked up again and carried on if he didn't get shot by his father. So it's sort of quite an interesting sort of story of Marvin Gaye's story.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, what a talent. You know, done some incredible songs. You know, very gifted. And once again, unfortunately, you know, one of those sad stories from music. And that is obviously the sad side of music, isn't it? Where, you know, these top musicians, these pop stars, rock stars, for whatever reason, can't necessarily cope in a way, you know, being in the limelight or for whatever the reason is. And that's the sad side. But interesting, again, what you said there, how you felt his lyrics changed when he was going down a certain pathway. So again, just shows you, because, you know, as a songwriter myself, I know that writing lyrics, writing music, any you know, and the melody as well, but writing the lyrics in particular is a way that I can express myself. And sometimes we don't always like to say things out loud to other people, but we can put it in a song. That's how all the great people do it, isn't it?
It's like Marvin Gaye's one, What's Going On. He put it all in there. He knew the world was going down, and even in the 70s, he knew that what we're doing to our planet is not right. And if he was alive today, then he would see that what he was saying in the 1970s is actually happening today. I don't know if he had a fortune thing on him or whatever, but he had the sort of, and that song means a lot to me. But what's going on, because you could see he knew what was going on back then was exactly what's happening today. So it's quite interesting.
That's amazing. Actually, it's a very good point, because I focus with my empowerment songwriting, because again, I've written, you know, loads of different songs. I used to be in a band, and I've written loads of, you know, love songs about love that's been gained or love that's been lost, you know, and some of those have been through my own experiences as well. But more recently, as you know, I've been focusing on the empowerment side of things, so the personal development related lyrics. However, another theme behind lyrics is those kind of social, political, you know, those kind of areas. I mean, someone like Bob Dylan was obviously amazing for that, you know, whereas everybody else was writing really simple, basic lyrics. You know, he was really looking at the world and just looking what was around him and creating these big statements. Do you sort of find you're quite influenced by that then? If someone's written a decent song that is, you know, talking about certain social dilemmas or something like that?
I think it's very fascinating. Yeah, I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan. Like Superstition's got some excellent lyrics in that song, and the start of it when it gets going, that sort of drum beat at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, again, another talented person, and he couldn't even see what he was doing. So it's absolutely incredible.
He can play the piano better than most people.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I suppose that really shows the power of music as well, doesn't it? You know, he can't even see what he's doing, but it's within him. It's just feeling, isn't it? It's just feeling the music and getting really absorbed into that, which is.
Well, I think his 70s stuff is his best stuff, like Inner Visions, Talking, but he actually changed his way from being a normal Motown singer in the 1960s to being a psychedelic singer in the 1970s. Totally changed the way he performed, and his lyrics changed from being a Motown typical to a totally different singer altogether.
Absolutely, and probably attracted a new audience, maybe repelled some people as well, you know, as they go through these different forms, but probably attracted a new audience as well, which again is what music can do. You know, music can go in so many different directions, and obviously bands that have been around, or singers or artists that have been around a long time, often they do go through quite significant transitions, don't they? Some pretty much, you know, AC/DC in the 70s is pretty much the same as, you know, what they are today. But you know, a lot of bands do actually change as time goes on, and you know, the different musical styles are there. So, yeah, absolutely. So what other sort of benefits have you had from being music? Because I know you're quite an avid collector, aren't you? You've got lots of different music. What other sort of benefits do you get from music? Anything different, you know, to what we've already said, or is it have we pretty much covered it?
Well, I think you get sort of like hidden messages from music as well. You can find different every time you listen to a song. It's got a different message into it. Some songs have got hidden messages in them. Especially some of the Marvin Gaye stuff and some of the Stevie Wonder stuff. You have to listen to it in detail and then go through and think, there's a message about that. What's actually, like I was saying before, what's happening today and things like that. That they actually put hidden messages in their songs. And I think that's quite interesting.
Is that again with the way that you are as a person? You like to sort of again find that out.
Being autistic, you can pick out different things. And it's the same with different types of music as well, like CD, record, and tape. If you listen to a record of the artist and listen to the CD at the same time, if you've got that sort of way to hear it, you can tell the difference in the way, the sound quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And
this record's got more. You can hear more of the realistic sound, especially if it's like a rock band like Black Sabbath. You can actually hear all the guitars better on the record than you can on the CD. Stuff on the CD is missing. But people who are not into music cannot tell the difference. It's you have to listen carefully to know.
That's it. Absolutely. And some people, for some people, it really matters, doesn't it? For other people, they don't really care what they're listening, what format they're listening on. It doesn't really matter. And they still enjoy the music. But for other people, it does matter. All those little changes in sound, and, you get remixes and remasters, and sometimes it's an improvement, but other people don't feel that, they've made an improvement.
Yeah, you're very true there, James. I mean, I love the new vinyl that's come out now, because it's actually the same gram of vinyl it was in the 1960s.
Right.
They built the quality back. When in the 1980s, the quality of vinyl was rubbish.
Right. Okay.
And they brought back the quality, what people want, the sound.
You know more than me then in regards to that as well, because obviously I've recorded music, I've been in proper studio, I have my home studio, so obviously I've got a certain knowledge of the recording process and the sound and bits like that. But again, I wouldn't say that's my real passion, going into the absolute sort of sound. But again, it's obviously an area for you that is of real interest, and you notice that difference, which is great. Which again is just another example. This is what this interview is about. It's just looking at how music has shaped people's lives. For some people, it's absolutely transformed their life. For other people, it's given them. It's given them a bit of meaning, a bit of something to focus on and dissect. Whether it is the music itself or I don't know.
Yeah, you are right. Growing up on Pavarotti as well, you get to appreciate classical music as well. Not everyone likes Pavarotti, but actually, if you listen to his music, and especially in Nessun Dorma, you can hear the way he gets that tone right up to the top, that baritone sound. There's not many singers can do that. It's sort of you appreciate it, really.
Yeah, that's one of those, when he hits that notes, it's one of those hair raising moments, and your hair on the back of your neck sort of stands up, because it's just one of those. Oh yeah, that's incredible.
And I love listening to that when I'm in my van driving around. If you listen to Nessun Dorma, it gives you that sort of power and sort of belief and things. It's got that sort of song that wants you to move on and get.
Yeah. And that, do you know what? I'm so glad you said that, because if we were describing types of music that want you to, get going and things like that, people wouldn't have necessarily thought of classical singing or Pavarotti. But you're so right. All of those kind of songs can be really powerful. It doesn't matter whether it's a ballad, whether it's a rock song or whatever, it can have that effect. I've got slightly, whenever anyone mentions that song now, my daughter's got a version. She's got, the Sooty show, Sooty and Sweep. She's got a CD of Sooty songs, and there's a song where Sweep sings Nessun Dorma in the way that he does. So it's kind of a little bit ruined. So every time I think of that song now, I think of Sweep. But I would think Pavarotti's version is a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, well, that has been absolutely brilliant. It's been great to sort of get a bit of a perspective in terms of autism and how this helps people with autism, as well as just, finding out, again, some of those other ways, like I say, those social elements to music, and how important that can be as well for conveying a message and, sometimes changing a nation as well. Music can do that.
You're right there, James. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Ben has very kindly offered a free gift. Now, it's probably something that is more for sort of Kent-based people, Ben. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Based in Kent. Although I'm presuming, obviously, you could do some of your IT repair services sort of remotely. Could you guide in some people through some things?
We can do a health check remotely, yeah. So we can be flexible on that, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, I've used Ben a couple of times. I can certainly recommend him. So obviously this isn't music related, although you can obviously play music on your laptop. And if that's not working, then Ben will fix it for you so that you can get your music going again. But Ben's offering, 10%. I've got it written down here. 10% office PC health check in the comfort of your own home. Was that 10% off, Ben?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Lovely. Okay. So get in contact with Ben. I will put the details in the notes, but how's best for people to get in contact with you, Ben, if they're interested in the IT services?
Either on my website or my Facebook page. They're both I'm quite active on both of them. So
brilliant.
well,
And BLYT Solutions, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. That
That's
is
right,
wonderful. All right, well, we'll search that out. And thank you ever so much, Ben, for taking time out of your busy day. I know you are busy. So,
Yeah, that's all right, James. I always like to talk music for hours. It's a passion of mine, as you probably know. I love it. I just think if I couldn't hear, then that would be one of the biggest disabilities I would definitely miss.
Do you know what? I've just interviewed someone else and I finished with a question. I'm going to ask you this question now. I hope this never has to be a choice for you, but if you had to lose your eyesight or your hearing, which one would you choose?
I think it'll definitely be my eyesight, because I think without sound and not listening to sound, I think would have been the biggest sort of loss.
There we go. I would agree, and the other person said so as well, actually. So us music lovers, yeah, we'd rather lose our sight than our hearing. So brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure, Ben.
It's always a pleasure.
So much. Thank you so much for watching. 3 quick things to do now. 1, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. 2, go to the inneranthem.com website and access your free video series, the 3-minute music life hack, so you can find out how to use music to enhance your life. And thirdly, get your own copy of the Empowerment Songs albums at the inneranthem.com website.